today? What are we doing now?
Getting rabies shots.
For who?
For little Miss Figgy. Love my Figgy.
Little Miss Figgy Stardust.
Yes, love my Figgy Stardust.
She's, what, 6 months old?
No.
No?
No, she's, let's see, at least 17 weeks old.
Okay, so when you do the first rabies?
Well,
16
anywhere
weeks?
from 15 to 17 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah.
Right. So we
Yeah.
so why
they
are we not
did shots different.
right, why are we
than
not doing
where
this
we got it
ourselves?
from. Rabies?
You want a rabies tag?
Yeah.
You
That's
don't-
why you don't do it.
There's a rabies tag right there for different dogs, but you don't get that rabies tag if you do it yourself. You can do it yourself, but the problem
Well, it
gets to
won't
be
be on record.
yeah, well, the problem gets
Yeah.
to be is if there's ever an issue where somebody's got bit and they think it's your dog's done it, if you can't produce a rabies tag, which means the vet had to do it, your dog's going down.
Yeah. If you don't have a proof of
Your dog's
the
going
vet
down.
doing it.
And then your dog's, and they're going to dehead your dog. I think and
Figgy wouldn't bite nobody.
send the head off. So that's
Figgy
not.
wouldn't bite nobody.
So it's the responsible thing to do. And by the way, guess what we've got down here? 2 little kitties, and how old they're 2 years
2
old.
years, yeah.
And they do what? It's a yearly thing for rabies.
Yes.
So they do their rabies shots, so they're getting it done as well. And again,
Unless they've changed it.
well,
I don't know.
Dr. Musa, I can't say it right. Matusek.
James.
Dr. James Matusek. In Kingfisher, Oklahoma, which is about an hour northwest of Oklahoma City. And he does C-sections for us. He's a super nice guy. So he's very convenient for us, and not only is he convenient, but he knows his stuff, and he's just an all-around great guy. But you will see him here in a moment, because he's going to come in here and give these doggies and cats some shots.
Their last shot.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so
Do you need a DHL?
Yep. We need
and
a
I
DH.
wanted to get her flea and tick if
Okay.
she's
All
of
right.
age.
Okay, she is of age. How soon will you be breeding with her, or are you
Oh,
going to?
long time ago.
Long time ago.
I
All
mean,
right.
Long time to go.
I mean,
Right.
she'll be getting bred for another year.
Yeah, or more.
Okay, all right, so we'll get, and you said you want flea and tick, so that's the one thing that we have to be careful of course, in your bitches, whenever we're breeding or when they're pregnant, is which flea and tick prevention that we're using, okay?
So which one do you use for a pregnant dog?
For pregnant dogs, you can use Revolution, okay? That's the only one that I know of or use, okay? I do know that the Simparica and the NexGard, they're not safe for breeding.
Perfecto?
Yeah.
Don't know. It says it's okay, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
it
thought you
says
said-
it okay, if they say it's okay, they've done the trials. I'm
Yeah.
sure the safety trials.
And then you don't vaccinate pregnant dogs.
You can vaccinate.
Oh, you can?
You can
Okay.
vaccinate pregnant dogs. You just have to be careful about which vaccines that you're using.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I typically do like to get the vaccines in either before breeding or after whelping.
There you go.
Okay.
So by the way, we're at Kingfisher at Dr. James Matusik. I always pronounce that wrong. Did I get it right?
You got it right. It's close enough.
What nationality were your parents?
Matusik is Czech.
Oh,
So,
okay.
my grandparents were Czech.
Yeah.
I did have one set of grandparents that are Irish, so.
So
I'm kind of
you're a mix.
so-
You're a mutt then, aren't you?
That's right.
You're a
I
mutt.
am.
There you
I
go.
am.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a rabies shot, and of course, to get a tag, you have to come to your vet.
That's right.
And why do we need a
Yeah.
tag?
Well, you need a tag to represent the animal as being properly rabies vaccinated. Now, they don't have to wear that tag, but that tag is basically a symbol that they have been properly rabies vaccinated, because in the eyes of the law, if they are not vaccinated by a veterinarian, then they have not officially had their rabies vaccination. And so if they were to bite someone, especially someone outside of your family, that could have grave consequences for your pet or for your animal.
You're going to have your dog's head cut off. Isn't that what
That's
happened?
right.
Yeah.
You certainly can, depending on the severity of the bites and
Yes.
so forth.
So don't mess around with this. Go
That's
to,
right.
go to your vet. Don't
That's
muck
right.
around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't muck around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. we'll
Okay,
get
so
her
we got an ear
vaccinated.
problem
Okay.
because we went swimming,
Oh no. That's okay.
and so we've been trying to keep it clear.
We use that 1-2 step
Yeah.
product, which works really well.
Okay,
So it's a
good.
lot better than it was.
Okay. Good.
And it was a
Good.
3
Now,
days
have I
ago.
looked at her ears before? Or
No.
not on her?
No.
Not on her, it was,
Okay.
yeah, it was Dej.
Okay.
And I think these are from bites and playing, and she's
Roughhousing.
got one under her neck.
She plays with her 3
Yeah.
adults, and she
Yes.
gets pretty.
Yeah.
She gets pretty.
They get kind of
Oh,
wild.
rough.
rambunctious,
They are.
yes.
She's rough, and then they get rough
Yeah.
back with her.
Absolutely.
So, do you see those little,
I do.
Yeah.
I feel them underneath her neck too.
well, that's
Yeah.
where the bites are, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
Sure
play
do.
too rough.
They're not severe. They're pretty
No.
mild.
Yeah.
Feels like a little bit of a staph pyoderma. I'm going to have you watch those.
Okay.
And if those get worse, we're going to start her on some antibiotics.
Oh,
So we do have another dog who's an older dog who does have like verticulitis going on, maybe a staph infection.
Okay.
So get from one dog to another with this? Does
No,
that happen?
The staph bacteria that are on the skin, that's what we consider normal
Yep.
flora. So it's
Kept under
it's-
control.
That's right. It's always there.
Yep.
But the natural habitat of the skin keeps it in check, so it doesn't overgrow. But whenever they start to either lick themselves too much, bite themselves due to some allergy conditions, or playful fighting
well,
and so
we've done
forth.
a move,
Yeah.
and everybody's done different
Coming to
things.
season, get a little bit of stress
They're
going
all
on.
in the
Yep.
house,
That's
Yep.
right.
and so they're
That's right. So
doing their thing.
when you change those natural protectants for whatever reason it is, that's when the bacteria itself can overgrow or cause infections.
So what do you treat? What antibiotic do you use for that?
There's various antibiotics in which can be used. I prefer Clavamox, which is a
Amoxicillin-based product.
It's an amoxicillin that's potentiated with clavulanic acid.
So what about just if you just have a mild case like this, starting off with a medicated shampoo? Is that a worthwhile, or is
Yeah,
that a
absolutely.
Okay.
You got a mild case like this, if you've got a medicated shampoo,
start there maybe?
definitely
Yep.
can start there.
Yep.
Yeah, you certainly can.
So when are the situations that you don't like to start giving antibiotics? Is that something that you try to?
In all cases when it's
There
unnecessary.
you go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yes, and it's unnecessary because
It's unnecessary because at this point it's a very mild infection.
Yep.
It's not causing problems. We've just got some scabs there.
Yep.
That could just be
I thought
simple.
it was Neosporin.
playing hard.
It
Yep.
could just be simple disturbance of the skin, and its healing process is that scab. So
Yep.
it's not necessarily it's an indication that, of course, it's a staph infection,
Yep.
but it can be the start of one. So if you use that, your I guess non-invasive treatments such as your shampoos and so forth, you can definitely keep it under
Yeah.
control.
So this gets to a pet peeve of mine: unnecessary use of antibiotics.
Right.
So we get people who say, "Oh, my dog's got a little bit of a sniffle. I need some antibiotics," or "I've got a little bit of sniffle."
Right.
And what do you say to that?
I trend not to administer antibiotics, of course, all the time. But whenever it's necessary, by
Yep.
all means.
Right. If it's pneumonia or something like that,
yeah,
right?
When
Yep.
if an animal is,
Yep.
of course, has a fever or a condition that it's necessary that we use those, then I
Yep.
see that it's quite all right.
Yep. Gotcha.
So
Right.
first looking at that, I was thinking, oh, ringworm, but it's.
I understand.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's just from.
It's raised.
You can see
Right.
two little marks right here. I think
Right.
is what that is right there. Where
I think this is
And then
one that we
plan.
would monitor and just make sure that we don't start seeing those classic symptoms of ringworm, which would be crusty edges to that round lesion or round area of hair loss.
actually a worm at all, is it?
That's not. It's not. That's a
Fungal thing.
yeah.
Is it?
It's a fungal infection. Yeah, that's right.
So the other thing here is we've got a dog that we know has been fighting with
okay.
other dogs in a play manner. So that would be a good explanation to what's going on with
Right.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just
Absolutely.
watch it and see if it
Okay.
heals up. All right.
Okay, well,
Check
let's,
that ear out.
yep, we'll check the ears out. I'm gonna do vaccinations real quick.
okay.
We have those ready and prepared, so we'll get those done and administered. And then we'll do.
So I like your sign you're putting out there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Are you going to put like
Yeah.
a 10-foot thing of you out there?
No,
holding it-
no, I'm absolutely the most unimportant person here, the most unimportant person here.
Who
My
is the most
staff-
important person
My
here?
staff, they're,
Yeah.
they're the ones that make this place go,
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
yeah, so I won't have any pictures on it.
There we go. There's the shot.
Yeah.
Didn't even Mario.
Okay.
All right.
Have you, is she in need of a dewormer today?
No, we
Okay.
used
I thought that you would
we used
probably-
Safeguard.
All right,
Yep.
you have that
Right.
taken care of.
So these are the things that you need to go with your vet though when you're here. Is
That's
that
right.
take opportunity to visit your vet with all the things that your doggy may need.
Yeah. Now this is her rabies
Like
tag,
balance.
okay?
Okay.
You don't have to keep that on the collar,
Okay.
okay? But you do need to keep that
Keep it at
handy
home.
somewhere,
I know,
absolutely.
you want to go.
All right, very good.
Okay,
Let's
Mario.
look in those
That's
ears
your
real
little
quick.
girl.
Let's look in those ears
Mario
real
and Andrea.
quick.
So this is a lilac and tan that carries Fluffy. She's
Yes,
a really pretty little
okay.
girl. She's so
Okay.
nice. All right, thanks enough for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.